Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? RB here, Philly Take with RB, and you already know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit that subscribe if you're new, and ding that notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Today, we are back with some breaking news. Yes, the Philadelphia 76ers have agreed to hire Dave Joerger as an assistant coach under the staff and the likes of a guy like Doc Rivers. I think Dave Joerger is a great pickup. Weeks back, we had potentially heard about Alvin Gentry becoming an assistant coach under Doc Rivers, and then things progressed. And just last night, we're hearing a lot of rumors. We're hearing a lot of talk about Dave Joerger now climbing to the top. Maybe he could become the next assistant, and then within 24 hours, bang. I mean, I'm at the courts just trying to relax, and my phone starts blowing up. Dave Joerger is now the assistant coach of the Sixers, and I got to give a round of applause, man. I never thought I'd be doing this. I got to give a round of applause to the Sixers front office and ownership group. Josh Harris, David Blitzer, Elton Brand. I mean, they actually are getting things done, and they're doing it promptly. This is a household name that you're bringing in here under another household name, and you went out and acted so fast, and I think it's a great job. Dave Joerger is 46 years old, has coached as a head coach in the NBA for 6 years, 3 years with the Grizzlies, 3 years with the Sacramento Kings, has never had the best teams, but has been able to elevate talent. He's also had a ton of experience before that in the likes of a G League and in other developmental leagues. I think he's won 5 championships in those other leagues. There was even a span where Dave Joerger was able to get 18 players called up to the NBA as he was in those developmental leagues, just showing how good of a developmental type of coach that he is. And I think that's important given our assistant role. That is what an assistant is supposed to do. You know, players are going to come to them to look for some help, to look for some guidance, and I think Dave Joerger is in the perfect role to be able to do that. And he's a guy that has taken his time little by little, climbing the ranks all the way up, was an assistant with the Grizzlies for 6 years, has always been noted as a nice name to have within house, and you know, he went up and got promoted by the Grizzlies. It took a long time, but he took over the team, you know, with Mark Gasol and Zach Randolph and Mike Conley, and then they had role players like Tony Allen and Vince Carter and teams like that. He was able to lead them to 50 wins in the first year, 55 in the second. They were able to get to the playoffs. Dave Joerger's career record now is 245 and 247, so he's 2 games under 500, 9 and 13 in the playoffs, but he's never had the best teams, and especially a lot of those losses are attributed to his rosters in Sacramento, which honestly were quite terrible, young and inexperienced, and they really were not ready to win. But Dave Joerger definitely has done some good things in his career. Now, the main flaw is that Dave Joerger has never been able to, you know, get along with young guys, whether it's De'Aaron Fox, even the first year of Marvin Bagley, whether it's Buddy Hield. He's never really been able to get along with those type of guys, and he's never really been able to get along with management either. You know, the Grizzlies and the Kings both have noted, you know, different incidents where Dave Joerger has honestly either just tried to get out of there, or players, it has been actually noted that players don't want them there. I think there's just a clash of personalities, but I also think that is why Dave Joerger needs another assistant job to, again, learn and grow. It's a nice place to start, and what better place under the likes of a Doc Rivers, where he's going to be able to learn and not have too much on his plate. Dave Joerger is known for making his teams into defensive prowesses. I mean, his teams were just gritty and they just played hard, and they'll get up in your face, and I like that kind of identity. Now, the Sixers tried to implement that last year, even though it didn't work and the personnel just did not fit, but I think Dave Joerger is going to bring a lot to the table. He's a very smart coach in terms of the X's and O's, pretty much, you know, not even the same as Doc Rivers. He brings a new sense of fresh air to the table, and I think he's going to draw up some different schemes, or at least be there to be kind of the sidekick of Doc Rivers, as long as Doc is able to delegate. But Doc has talked him up. I mean, you know, a couple years ago, Doc even said that Dave Joerger is quirky. He said that his styles just kind of throw you off. He said that, you know, nobody wanted to play the Kings in 2018 just because how Dave Joerger was progressing that team. Back in 2018, Dave Joerger made it a priority to get the Kings playing much faster. He knew all the young speed speed and talent that they had. He wanted to put it together in terms of an up-tempo type of offense because he was criticized in some of his early years for being too slow and lackluster, kind of like the Sixers. The Kings jumped from 30th in the league in pace all the way up to 3rd in 1 year. De'Aaron Fox ended up finishing in the top few in terms of the most improved player. Buddy Hield started to develop and become a much better player, even though he never got along with Dave Joerger. And Joerger actually had the highest increase in win total from 1 year to the next in Kings history, adding 12 wins in 1 year in 2018 before he was fired again, for not getting along with management. But either way, how it goes, I mean, this ownership group would have had to get along with him to bring him in. Doc Rivers has talked him up. And again, Dave Joerger isn't going to have to do everything, but with the likes of the teams that he coached, the way he was able to implement that defensive mindset, I think he actually could help as a player developmental type of guy with Ben Simmons, with Joel Embiid, who we want to step up and become superstars, prominent superstars in this league. And again, he's a household name. He was actually a guy who had been noted in a few coaching searches, even for the Sixers way back when, a couple months ago. And obviously, Dave Joerger, is going to try to leverage himself. He's going to try to put himself in the best position to eventually become a head coach somewhere else again, having taken a gap year and everything. And I think this is a great start for him as well. Under Doc Rivers, we saw what Ty Lue did. He took the Clippers job earlier today, and he's going to bring Chauncey Billups there. And Dave Joerger, this is an opportunity for himself as well individually to try to play himself up, and I think it's a great opportunity. We've seen a lot of success in terms of the Sixers assistant coaches, whether it's Ime Udoka, whether it is Mike D'Antoni, whether it is Monty Williams, whether it's any of these guys. We've seen tons of success, and now bringing a household name in here, a guy who's not going to take any crap, adding that on to Doc Rivers, who's known for his accountability. I just think it's a great, duo for this team. I really think that everything that Doc Rivers is trying to implement, or at least most of it, falls in line with how Dave Joerger is or has been as a coach. Dave Joerger showed that he was able to increase the pace of a team. Doc Rivers said in his introductory press conference that he's on that same type of goal, that same type of mission. He's trying to get creative, which Dave Joerger has shown. And, at the same time, we need to step up our defense. If that's going to be a big part of this team, whether it's Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid down in the post or whatever we decide to do, we're going to be able to have to move our feet a lot and stay active. And I think Dave Joerger is going to be able to come in here and do that and put on his best show. Given the circumstances, I don't think Dave Joerger was in line yet to be a head coach again, just given some of his clashes and past experiences with some of the other teams and the young players. But I think this is a chance for him to revive his career. I think this was a great take by the Philadelphia 76ers, again, acting quick and prompt. And even if there was, I'm not saying there will be, but even if there was some type of conflict that occurred with Dave Joerger, well, I don't think our ownership group is going to tolerate it because they like to have certain type, of faces and personalities in here. I don't think Doc Rivers would tolerate it because that's just not the type of guy he is. And overall, I just don't even think Dave Joerger would have as much power or responsibility to be able to do anything too harmful to this team. But I don't even see that happening. I think this is a great hire. Doc Rivers and Dave Joerger are going to be able to design some interesting, creative schemes together, and I'm really excited to see what they do. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.